These three cryptos could be about to explode in price and could be some great trading opportunities if a couple of things happen. What are they going to be? Make sure you go ahead and strap on in for the entire video. I'm going to talk about the three coins that I'm looking at that potentially still have some significant upside. They're going to be the three that I probably put a decent amount of my trading portfolio into to let them ride here if we get another big leg to the upside. But before we do that, go ahead and comment right now. What do you think they are? Even before I get into them, comment right now down below. What three coins am I talking about right now? The fact is, these three coins, while I'm bullish on all three of them, they're going to be bullish for different reasons. And I'm going to get into those in just a second. But let's start off here. Let's start off with doing some Bitcoin TA, because for me to be able to tell you what these three coins are going to move to the upside, it does depend on a Bitcoin move to the upside. So we got to talk about what it is doing. Now, right now, we're kind of wrestling right below, but as a whole, we've done that before. I'm not too concerned. You can see since all the way back here on October 24th, Bitcoin has been setting these higher highs and higher lows all throughout the period. Now, the higher highs have gotten a little more waned. We didn't make a move all the way back up to this higher blue line here, back here on November 24th on Black Friday, but we're still setting those higher highs. And right now, even though we're making a move to downside back below 37, we kind of have a little safety zone we've developed from touches back here on November 14th and November 21st, where it's like, hey, we can make a move all the way even and wick down here towards 36.3, and we still are setting these higher highs and higher lows in this system, a move to the upside. Now, what's more concerning to me is the fact that we're wrestling with this long-term blue line. This long-term blue line, of course, goes all the way back to 2017. We've talked about that on the channel before. Very strong resistance and support throughout the history of Bitcoin. But it's also the resistance of a falling wedge pattern, which even a pullback to support could put us somewhere around $31,000, $32,000. A bigger move to the downside, it would be pretty rough. And of course, the perma bears are going to tell you that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm not necessarily too convinced of that. I, in fact, think that we're going to be breaking the resistance and moving to the upside. But it's something that you should be keeping your eyes on. Now, something I love that I'm seeing here on the daily chart, I am seeing, even though we have a lot of bearish calls here, and we've reversed at pretty much all of them, we've got some bearish divergence. I want to point out to you guys, let's kind of zoom in here, that while the bears are going to tell you, oh, look at the bearish divergence, even the chart prime oscillators are printing these divergences. Well, yes, the highs are getting lower while the price highs are getting higher, but at the same time, the price lows are getting higher and the oscillator lows are getting lower. This is a bullish divergence just as much as a bearish one. And in fact, what this kind of move looks like is a reloading. RSI is already come down here to the mid-level. The chart prime oscillator is getting close right there. I still see this as potentially a reload before one more good push on Bitcoin. Potentially a repeat of 2019 all the way up to the platinum pocket up here towards $50,000. But even if we just made it to 41, 42,000, that would still be a significant move to the upside that I think could catapult these altcoins we're about to talk about with a big move to the upside. Now, let's move closer to the 4-hour chart here on Bitcoin. Before we get into those altcoins, you will see, even with these most recent moves, we're getting some overextended price action here on the 4-hour chart. I'm expecting here any moment we're going to be seeing a bullish flash, either a green reversal or an oversold indicator to pop up here for the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. We are seeing the RSI get super low. In fact, right now, you guys want to talk about divergences, we are forming a bullish divergence where the RSI is getting lower lows, but the price action still has higher lows. We're getting these green histograms coming in here, so reversal for Bitcoin should be coming very, very soon. But we'll talk more about that probably in today's afternoon live show. Make sure you're a part of it. Before we move on to these three coins, though, and their explosive moves to the upside potential, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe if you guys love crypto and you love the channel. If you want to find out more about crypto and when to invest and when to trade, again, we don't give financial advice, but we really help you guys learn for yourself how you can invest your money wisely. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. There's one more thing I want to show you guys, and this is the biggest thing for Bitcoin that I'm keeping my eyes on, is the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. Now, we got a little ways to go. We could still see a lot of price action kind of more sideways happen before a big breakout, but we are seeing the daily chart constrict with the Bollinger Bands for the first time since back here in early October when this explosive move happened in the first place. This could send price either explosively to the upside. Again, are we talking about upper golden pocket, 41,000? Maybe this bull flag prediction about 47,000 almost, or are we talking 50,000 in the platinum pocket? It could definitely send us to the upside. it also could send us to the downside in pretty explosive ways. Of course, we have a lot of support below us. We have a nice little support zone all the way back here towards 33,000, but they're also going to be looking at that level around 31, 32, and then below that, we're talking about, hey, are we making a revisit back down towards 25,000? There's a lot of support below us, and there's a lot of resistance above us. Either way, what I'm looking for and what will dictate if these altcoins make explosive moves or not will be, hey, does Bitcoin move to the upside or does Bitcoin move to the downside? I do not see a scenario where Bitcoin starts to fall, yet altcoins rally explosively to the upside. There might be a day or two where there's a divergence in those price actions, but not long term. I think for altcoins to have another burst in their price action, they're going to need Bitcoin to do the same. And we're kind of sitting in a place right now where I'm still giving the bulls the edge, but I want to prepare you guys. This breakout, it could be explosive to the downside just as much as it could be the upside. You're going to want to look for some confirmation breakouts before you trade short, long, or do anything. There's evidence on both sides. So make sure you're looking at that accordingly. But let's take a look now at the altcoins I think that could have some nice explosive price action. Let's start off with one of my favorites and one of the channel favorites here, good old Cardano ADA. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and take a look here. Now, the reason I'm actually bullish on Cardano, there's a couple of reasons here, but from the chart perspective, this is one of the coins that's had the least pullback. In fact, after topping out here at 40 cents, we're really not down that significantly at the current price action. We're only down about 6%, almost 7% from the top of its rally. But also, we're setting up a bullish formation. There's two different ways you can play this out. One is this is just an ascending triangle where the lows are getting higher, the tops are getting flat. Yeah, we had some wicks above, but you can see right here about 39.5 cents. That's been a pretty strong level of resistance. It was the original resistance back here on November 11th, and even here over the last week, it has served as some strong resistance once again. This, just by itself, if it were to have a bullish breakout, would see the price action of Cardano go all the way up here, where towards about 46.8, maybe 47 cent zone. Why is that significant? Well, that's significant because that is the high we had back here in April of 2023. Now, the significance of breaking back up to that level is throughout the bear market. Of course, bear markets are marked by lower highs and lower lows. Well, after we bottomed out here in December of 2022, we rallied up. We set a high here at 41 cents. Then we pulled back down towards 29, but that was our first higher low, and then we went a little bit higher up here towards 46, almost 47 cents. Now we had a higher high, and there was some concern, or there were some rumors like, here we go, bull trend is on. We're setting higher highs, higher lows for Cardano. But then, of course, we went ahead and moved to the downside, had a big fall back here in June. We actually ended up setting a new low for the year around 21 cents, and we started a new phase of lower highs, and then these flat bottom 23 cent price actions. The bull trend was off, right? So what we're looking for right now, even though we've had some moves to the upside, we're up 60% from those lows back here in October. We still need to beat out this price action to restart a bull trend where we're setting higher highs and higher lows. If we can get above this level, maybe make a move up towards that 0.382 for Cardano, we've now set a higher high. And even if we pull all the way back down to 40 cents, or even if we pull back down here towards 35 cents, we're still in a situation where we're setting higher highs and higher lows, and we're starting this bull trend off correctly. In fact, I think it would make sense to come back somewhere closer to 35, maybe even all the way down to 30 cent zone if we hit 60 cents, because I'm not going to be surprised to see altcoins have a 50% or greater pullbacks in a pre-halving dip. That is pretty traditional in a 4-year cycle for cryptocurrencies. But the other reason, and we're talking about it, but look at how low Cardano is on Fibonacci. This is something I've been saying for a while, and the bears are going to tell you it's because Cardano sucks. Well, guess what? Cardano's been getting a lot of headlines here recently. I do think there's some hype starting to move over into Cardano. There's one of the reasons why it's not pulled back so far is because people are not as bearish on Cardano as they are people aren't taking as many profits on Cardano as they are on others, and I think there's a chance that people come here and look at this chart and see how overextended it is to the downside and say, you know what? We absolutely can go make some more profit in Cardano. A push up here to 60 cents would only get it to the 0.382 level. When you look at other coins, Ethereum sitting up here all the way to its 0.5. Solana made a push all the way to the golden pocket. Chainlink made a push all the way to its 0.5. There's no coin, there's no major coin that has had as little of a push as Cardano to only make it to the 0.236. To me, this is actually bullish. This is something that a lot of traders who still want to make money will scan the ecosystem. They'll look for good opportunities, and they'll see this chart and they'll say, all right, we're seeing hype come out in the news about Cardano. We're seeing Charles Hoskinson consistently talk about these new upgrades they're having. But even if you don't believe the ecosystem, you're still looking at this and saying, this has not been a big rally for Cardano. Everything else has been overextended. Cardano is not overextended. This is what I want to flow money into. I think that's going to happen here very, very soon. I still see Cardano making a push up here towards 60 cents. This, again, will depend on what does Bitcoin price do. But if we get a good push with Bitcoin, not going to be surprised to see Cardano do the likes of potentially 56, 57, maybe 60% gains to the upside up here towards 60 cents. So that's my first altcoin that I am looking to deploy some of my liquidity into. I think that I can make some good money here over the next couple of weeks. My second one I'm taking a look at is Maddox. Now, I'm looking at Maddox for a very, very different reason. Let's walk through this. I'm going to be very quick. Don't want this video to go crazy long, but you'll see here in a falling wedge pattern that we were in ever since back in this date is January of 2023. We've recently broken out, and the price prediction we would have for that would be $1.20. We're not close to that. We ended up peaking out right at the 0.5 level right there at 98 cents here a couple days ago. But the reason I'm kind of bullish, unlike Cardano, where Cardano is kind of staying high and it's not retracing that much. We've had the biggest pullback of the top coins, of the top 20, top 30 coins. Maddox has had the biggest pullback. It pulled back almost 27% from that high, 26.75%. Other than Solana, which had a little bit, I think it went back 25, and XRP went back 25 or 24. Both Solana and XRP have had pullbacks of 24. Maddox is the largest one. And even though there is a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern, altcoin head and shoulders patterns have not been reliable. I don't know about you guys, how you do your technical analysis, but Bitcoin, pretty good with its head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. Altcoins, I have not seen many of them hit. And if they do, there's usually another reason why they ended up hitting. So despite the fact that we have a bearish pattern formulated here, we also have a bullish pattern. And I think a lot of people are going to look at Maddox price and say, even though, Cardano's macro overextended, but Maddox is micro overextended, meaning in the most recent, last 7 days, last 2 weeks, Maddox has had the biggest pullback of these top coins. That's another coin you're looking at and saying, hey, I think we could get a good pullback there. You're also going to see on the daily chart, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, we're actually starting to get down towards levels of being overextended on the daily chart RSI. Of course, we're getting green histograms on the daily, which means, hey, buy signal coming in, but we're also getting close to probably getting a flash of oversold here on Maddox. So that's the reason I'm kind of bullish here on Maddox. Could see a push back up. Even if we only get a push back up here to 86 cents, that's still a good little gain. I would definitely recommend maybe taking a little bit of your profit there, but that's still a good 15, 16% gain. But I think there's a decent chance we do make a move back up here, at least to double top, if not get up closer towards our prediction. And that $1.20 level would be a 60% increase for Maddox right there beneath the golden pocket. I think that's still very much within the playing cards here for Maddox. So that's my second coin that I'm bullish on. More bullish on that one than the likes of like Solana or Chainlink, which have had explosive rallies, but I think that their rallies will continue the upside, just not as explosively maybe as these three. So far, Cardano and Maddox. If you guys are enjoying this, again, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave me down in the comments. Let me know if you disagree or agree and why it is. So why do you think Cardano and Maddox are going to do well or poorly? My third and final coin that I'm bullish on right now, and this isn't talking about macro necessarily, and I'm bullish on it macro too, but I'm just talking about for the next little bit, a rally before the halving. My third coin is XRP. Why is it XRP though? Let's go to the 4-hour chart. You guys can see here, unlike other coins where, yeah, Maddox definitely moved to the downside, had some lower highs, lower lows. That's one of the reasons why it's also in my top group. But XRP, very clearly in this channel, has set several lower highs and several lower lows. Clearly in a bull trend since back in this peak on November 6th. Yeah, we had that little scam wick on November 13th. I don't really count that necessarily, though. You can see here we've clearly been moving to the downside. But more recently, here on the 22nd, we broke out above. We set a higher high. We're currently working towards setting a higher low. You're seeing on the 4-hour chart, green MVP oscillators, our RSI sitting low here below 30. We're getting the oversold flash on the chart prime oscillator, but even on the daily, we're seeing similar things here. Green histograms coming in here. We touched right down there at 30 on the RSI. We're not getting that flash yet. We're not getting the oversold, but I would not be surprised to see that happening very, very soon. This is something, another coin I'm looking at. I think a lot of people are going to look at and say, XRP, hey, recently, a lot of news hype is what bursts XRP price to the upside or downside. It's been kind of boring news, but you're starting to see some things pick back up. I think that I'm not going to be surprised to see some more XRP news flash and then a good explosion to the upside. Again, we're down 24% from that high. Don't be surprised to see a resurge back up here at least to 75 cents. But what I'm looking at, in reality, I'm looking up here towards 85 cents to 95 cents. Why? Well, that's where we're going to have a lot of liquidity. XRP has something that a lot of other coins don't, is that a lot of these coins hit their yearly highs within the last month, whereas we set our yearly high back in July of this year from explosive news. Well, guess what happens when you go that high? You have some trapped liquidity, and a lot of times, sometimes that trapped liquidity can work as a magnet to pull the price to the upside. We could still see XRP with a nice 40 to all the way to 60% rally here, back up just to get some exit liquidity before it gets its big pullback for the pre-halving dip. I'm not saying that these are the only 3 coins that are going to have decent rallies, but there are definitely 3 that have caught my eye. But let me know in the comments down below. Am I wrong? Are there 3 that are better than this, that are amongst the top coins? Of course, I'm not talking about small caps. I'm not talking about coins with like a $10 million market cap. Those are super hard to predict, but yeah, those are the ones that could pop off 500% here in the next little bit. I'm talking about when you're looking at predictable coins that we can do technical analysis. We have history. These are top coins that millions of people are looking at. Are these the best 3 coins over the next couple of weeks, or are there some that are better? Let me know down below. Go ahead and smash the like button, hit subscribe. And with that said, guys, I will see you in the next video.